Hey Bookaholics, and welcome back to another video. Today I am bringing you my November TBR. For the month of November, I am going to be using my jars again. It's been a while since I've used the jars. The jars have been neglected. So I figured I would use the jars and see what the jars give me. For those of you who don't know, I have several TBR jars. I have my kind of more TBR vet jar, which has all of my standalones and series that I'm not going to binge read. I have my series jar, which I normally pull 2 from so I can read 2 series in the month. I have my Spanish books jar, which I pull 1 from. And finally, I have my digital books jar. I am not going to be pulling from the digital books because November I do have exams, which means I use a lot of screens. So I would rather not tempt fate when not necessary. So the digital book jar is going to be used as and when I can literally bring myself to do so nowadays. Let's get into the jar picks. The first jar I think I'm going to pull from is going to be my Spanish books jar. There are some really hefty ones in here, but I am hoping there are still some good ones. So let's give it a bit of a rummage. Julia Domina. All right, this one, I can put this back in because this is a series. So I need to read the first book in this series, but there is a sequel which I own. So it goes back in the jar. And if I pull it, whenever I pull it out again, I read the sequel is the plan with this one. Let's go get that. Julia Domina is a epic adult historical fiction series that follows the only empress of the Roman Empire. It's not quite so clean cut as her being like an actual empress in the traditional sense, but she was someone who amassed an incredible amount of power and is still very recognized throughout the kind of Roman history. I'm really excited to be getting into this. It is quite a chunky book. It's about 700 pages and it has a really long glossary as well. I have been really wanting to get into Santiago Posteguillo because he does do a lot of Roman Empire stuff. I don't know, I really like the idea of having a female-centric Roman Empire narrative. So I'm excited to be getting into this one. I guess next we'll do the jar. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull 1 from the jar now. And then what I will do is throughout the month, I will try and pick as many as possible from here. So this is just a starting point, if you will. Let's go for the one on the top. Oh, we have The Five by Hallie Rubenhold, which I've already read. So we'll try again. Ooh, Beloved by Toni Morrison. All right, I'll go get that. All right, I have Beloved by Toni Morrison. This is a literary fiction classic, modern classic, that I am really excited to get to. I have read 2 other books by this author now. I have read Paradise and Jazz, and I believe that these books are kind of a trilogy. So I'm excited to be concluding it. I think that this is the first one in that trilogy, but irregardless, I'm excited to be trying it. And the synopsis of this one is: Seth is now miles away from Sweet Home, the farm where she was kept as a slave for many years. Unable to forget the unspeakable horrors that took place there, Seth is haunted by the violent spectre of her dead child, the daughter who died nameless, and whose tombstone is etched with a single word: beloved. A tale of brutality, horror, and above all, love at any cost. Beloved is Toni Morrison's enduring masterpiece and best-known work. Very, very excited to be continuing my way through Toni Morrison's entire bibliography. And the last one I have is the series jar, which is looking a bit depleted now. I haven't been putting in the new series I've been purchasing. They're in a different place and I will put them in at the beginning of the year. So there should only be, I think, maybe 6 left in here. So there'll be 2 months worth and then 2 left over. So let's give this a whirl. So series number 1 is... Oop, upside down. Empire by Jenny Wirtz. All right, I'll go grab it. We have Empire by Jenny Wirtz. This is an adult classic fantasy series that is written by Raymond D. Feist and Jenny Wirtz. I have read some of The Rift War by Raymond D. Feist, and I've never read anything by Jenny Wirtz, so this would be a first for me. I'm really excited to be getting into the series because Raymond D. Feist is an author who, though not necessarily a favourite, is one whose works I appreciate. And Jenny Wirtz, as I said, is someone I've been really excited to get into. So I am very excited to be getting into this trilogy. And they've got the typical classic fantasy covers that are just like so camp and I love it. So this one is: the mysterious world of Caliban is encircled by magic, mystery, and murder. Here at the heart of the Sorani Empire, Mara, ruling lady of the Akoma, leads her people through terror and peril. on a truly epic scale. She must contend with powerful rival houses, strike deals with sinister rebel warriors, and forge a treaty with the enigmatic Choja'a race of alien insectoids. But in order to restore the honor of her house, Mara must marry the son of a deadly enemy and carry the struggle of her people into the heart of its stronghold. I'm excited. So the first book in this series is Daughter of the Empire. The second book is Servant of the Empire. And the third and final book is Mistress of the Empire. These books get increasingly more chunky. Like, they are big books. It's going to be a heck of a reading month. And just in case that giant series wasn't enough, let's go for another. All right, we have this one. Please be something small. Brethren by Robin Young. Let's go. I'm gonna get that. Oh my god, I am so screwed this month. And the other series that we pulled is Brethren by Robin Young, which again, very chunky books. This is an epic historical fiction, because apparently it's historical fiction month, that centers around the conflict with the Crusades. We're following the perspective of a Knights Templar and I believe a potentially Moorish protagonist is the other perspective. And I'm really excited because I think it is like draws parallels between the two men. I do believe that it has commentary on religious wars, so I am hoping to get a lot from it. I'm really excited to get into it. I have heard good things about Robin Young. She's a historical fiction author I've yet to try, so I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's going to be a very dense month by the look of it, but I'm looking forward to the books nonetheless. And this series is about, as the Crusades rage, a secret war begins. Will Campbell longs to become a Knight Templar, but first he must serve as apprentice to the foul-tempered scholar Everard, a man of dangerous secrets. Amir Baybars has fought his way from slavery to become a fearsome commander, driven by an unquenchable desire to free his people from the European invaders of the Holy Land. These two men are destined to collide in that extraordinary clash of civilizations known in the West as the Crusades. Again, excited to be getting into this. So we have Brethren as the first book, Crusade is book 2, and Requiem is book 3. So this is my stack, which, given that there are only 8 books on here, this is a very large stack. I am excited for all of these. I genuinely am. I'm a little bit intimidated now because they all came at once. But I've also noticed, this is going to sound a bit random, but I have no normal sized books on this TBR, as bizarre as that sounds. Like, I've got the Brethren, which is a series of mass markets, Empire, which are mass markets. I have Beloved, which is not like a normal mass market in terms of size, like height of mass market, width of standard paperback, so like weirdly shaped book, because like it's the same, I think it's the same, like width, if not slightly wider than a standard paperback, but as short as a mass market. So weirdly shaped one here, and then my giant Spanish paperback with your Julia. I have no normal size books for this month either. I think this is probably the one that I will just try and read throughout the month and just like slowly chip away at, and then the others I'll try and schedule in a more normal manner. But yes, that is everything from me for today. So thank you ever so much for watching. This was a very strange TBR. But I'm excited for it nonetheless, which I've said several times. And I think I'm trying to convince myself as much as I'm trying to convince you, because I do really want to read these books and I need to get over being intimidated by how dense this pile is. It's not really about the size of the books. It's that there's some of the literally most dense books that I have on my shelves all coming at once. Mental. But that is it. So thank you for watching, and I will hopefully catch you in another one soon. Bye.